This is Donnie Tuttle, the Sell Anywhere trainer, coach, and practitioner. Welcome to the only podcast designed for the remote sales professional and the remote leader, helping you live with more joy, more freedom, and more productivity. We believe that your talent is not limited to your zip code, and that you can build the life that you want while selling from anywhere. What if I told you that business and sales isn't that hard? What if I said it's only hard if you make it hard? That if you were able to connect with some sort of superpower that's within you, that it would actually open up more channels, it would bring more prosperity, and it would help you to be more joyful in the process. Well, that's kind of where we're going here. Shay Rowbottom is going to share with us just what it's like, the good, the bad, the high, the low, of growing your business through authenticity and using that as a strategy, and definitely connecting that to LinkedIn and some of your video resources that are out there. Take a listen to that. Listen, if you want more of what you're hearing, the first 35 minutes of this podcast actually can be found over on the Purpose Driven Executive podcast, which is brand new. And listen, if you want to hear my heartbeat on purpose, go over there and check it out. But without further ado, open your eyes, ears, and your heart to the awesome, the wonderful Shay Rowbottom.
I'm curious, Shay. You went from videos to sales, and I say videos, like it's one thing to have a bunch of people.
Oh yeah.
Recognize you, but it's another thing to actually to sell, because I've known a lot of people who are social media rich but cash poor.
Yep.
So how did you what was the meeting point for the marketing and the sales for you, and how have you continued to keep that part of the machine tuned up?
Yeah, no, that is a great question. And you're absolutely right that there's definitely figures on social media who appear to be killing it, are getting tons of views, tons of reach. Maybe they have a lot of followers, but they're not necessarily making any money. So how does it all convert? And for me, my especially because I do tend to cover a variety of topics on my content, my net is cast very wide. And I do that on purpose, just to reach more people overall. My target market is in there somewhere. So I cast the net wide to show up in more and more people's feed, because that is actually how I'm going to get to the people who are a good fit. But you're right, I do have to vet a lot of the other people, because I get a lot of people who will see my videos and then reach out to me, and it's not a good fit. So we do have a system, an application that people fill out, steps that we take to ensure that before we're moving forward, or even just getting on an initial phone call with someone, they are a good fit for our services, and we are in alignment that it's actually something we can do for them. Because I get a lot, there are people who reach out who, maybe just want to talk about depression or other things. So we've really created a fluid system that differentiates, just fans or people that are interested in other things to prospects, to, business clients.
What I see a lot of out there, it feels like, especially on LinkedIn, I love LinkedIn. And it's almost like I'm watching, and sometimes people will get hot. And by hot, I mean it's like all of a sudden they put something out there, they put something else out there, and people start, it's like, oh, I agree. And so they get there's this group of people behind them. But I've also seen where it's not there's no money coming from that. Right. And so if, let's just say I'm that person, what would you tell me?
Well, a lot of times what I've noticed with those people is a lot of times they, I don't want to say their priorities are just messed up. They probably have some self-esteem issues, no judgment. We all do, I do, but it's they're more caught up in the vanity game and looking cool. And this is not even just social media. I mean, this is businessmen too, different business owners. When you're caught up in how you look, how many followers do I have? How many views do I have? How do I look? How do I look? A lot of times those people are not the type of people to also prioritize money. Some of the most successful people that I've met in business, they don't care at all how they look. They're very introverted type people behind the scenes. They're not bragging. They're very frugal with their money. They don't need the flashiest car because they're prioritizing what is actually going to get them a return in the long run, and they're planning for the future. So, and it's a great question, because I even have to call myself out on this, where it's okay to sacrifice, some vanity metrics and lose some followers and not have the highest views in the name of actually just making progress in your business, in the name of actually providing value to your clients and making money. So you have to have a balance. If you're only caught up in the vanity metrics and the follower game, chances are you're also the type of individual who doesn't really value money and doesn't really value planning for the future and actually growing behind the scenes. It's very interesting, like I said, some of the most successful millionaire millennials I've met, they'll be like young, rich, have everything going for them, and you would never know it. You'd meet them in a room, you'd talk to them, they're so humble, they drive a Toyota Camry, it's just a different mindset. And like I said, you can, have a flavor of both. I certainly do, but I do see this pattern where if you're super caught up in the vanity metrics and that's all you care about, you probably don't really care about making money. You care about looking good. Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to take a real quick break here because I want you to go and hit the pause button and go over and connect with me on social media. Because if you're not there, first off, how can we even be called friends, right? I want you to find me on LinkedIn. I want you to find me on Instagram, and it's Donnie Tuttle, Donnie, Tuttle, Tuttle. And let's connect, because here's the deal. Any of those little thought nuggets, any of those, those things that are happening to me throughout my week, you are going to be able to connect with. And boy, I'd love to interact with you. So go ahead and do that. Let's keep the interaction going. Let's keep the party going. And now back to the show.
What surprised you the most? With what you put out there, you're like, oh, I thought this is gonna kill it, and it didn't, or maybe there's something that took off that you were really surprised about that you just didn't think anything of, and it just blew up. It could be with you or a client. It doesn't have to be just.
No, yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, it was really surprising. The depression videos. And when I was talking about my depression, I definitely felt like I was taking a risk doing that. I felt like maybe I was crossing the line into too much vulnerability. And that was shocking, the result I got, because I got leads from that. I got people who weren't even interested in pursuing my business before to call me and say look, I just love your authenticity. Thank you. Opening up about how stressful it is owning a business. And I was like, wow, I think on the surface, we all think admitting that we're human and flawed and that we get stressed out in our own company. I think we all kind of on the surface level think that's detrimental, when it's almost like having this opposite effect where people on social media are craving authenticity. There's no one being real. So when they see it, it flips a switch for them where they're kind of like, I want this person in my circle. This seems like a conversation I could get behind. This is real. This is affecting millions and we don't talk about it enough. So, just the whole mental health discussion, it totally on LinkedIn, took off for me. I was like,
wow,
I did not realize that this many people want to talk about it, find it valuable. And, I do get the naysayer here or there that's kind of like, this is unprofessional. And it's like, well, it's directly related to business. It is. I think it's just taken a while for people to catch on to that.
That's so cool. Do you actually, do you suggest that as a strategy, authenticity as a strategy, or because I've seen people do it wrong too, where they're, there's a line.
Yeah. No, I definitely tell people to be as authentic as they can be. But I do think it can be fake, I'm not, if you're not actually depressed, please don't go say you're depressed just for attention. I think there is, Yeah, it's funny, you know, we use the word authentic. That's like such a big word, but I do feel that a lot of people are trying to be authentic, but it's like still fake. You know what I mean? Like it's still, you can kind of get the sense that it's like, okay, they're just kind of doing this because they're picking up on like it's working, but it's not maybe all the way real, you know. And it's definitely something that I've had to check myself on, because the bigger I get and the more I grow, I sometimes do fall into the trap of like, well, what do people want to hear? What are people expecting versus just how I actually feel that day, and vlogging like my truth. And when you're small and you don't really like, you know, have anything to lose, I think it's easier to just be totally raw versus, you know, as I grew, I had to call myself out. Like, is this raw though? Like, am I being real? Like what, you know what I mean? Like it's this weird experience where you start to feel the pressure to uphold some certain image. Yeah, exactly.
This is the artist, right? This is like the same as you have a number one hit and you've got to follow it up. And so
exactly,
right, so
yeah.
Couple more questions for you, and then we'll let you go.
Okay.
These are from John Maxwell, and I'd like to ask these. Shay, what have you read that I should read?
How to Be an Adult by David Richo is the name. I think the last name. How to Be an Adult. That's just like a really quick, easy read. And no, it's funny. Like it's actually life changing. Like, you know, wow. I joke it's the Bible because I'm not religious. So it's my Bible, you know, like it really is a guide to life. And what I touched on just a little bit ago about like the collective lack of self-love that we have in our world, and that's ultimately the root cause of all our sickness and problems. Like that book does such a good job of like breaking down and addressing how that happens. And it gives you, you know, some tangibles, some actual, you know, where to start if you're struggling with depression or low self-esteem. Like that book is a godsend. What
have you done that I should do?
Oh man, LinkedIn videos. Is that too obvious? Everyone has to be on LinkedIn. I mean, that's like, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not preaching to someone like, get on LinkedIn right now. It's the biggest opportunity of 2019. It's changed my life. It's revolutionized my business. It's been really great for my own self-esteem and just, you know, cathartic for the artist in me. But it is working right now. It is a marketing strategy that's effective and easy. Get on it. Yeah.
Love it. And then finally, who do you know that I should know?
You know, I recently started following a woman who I didn't know existed until recently. Her name's Tracy McMillan. And I believe she has a show on like the Oprah Network or something. So she is relatively well known, but her social media following is still not the biggest. But I follow her on Instagram, and she releases these videos. It's all about relationships, like specifically like marriage is the work she does, but it applies to all relationships in life. She's just really good at breaking down, you know, why toxicity happens in relationships, why people are jealous, why people sabotage themselves in relationships. And she also comes from a very, you know, dysfunctional upbringing and a toxic family herself. So she's really someone who's talking the talk, walking the walk. I love the way she articulates her knowledge. She's very educational and professional. So if you're also, you know, into self-improvement and self-help, definitely look up Tracy McMillan and give her a follow. She's doing great work.
Love it. Well, thank you for lighting it on fire today.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Encouraging us in purpose, and guys, go out there, get on to the go get some LinkedIn videos going.
Yes.
Shay and her services. If you don't know where to get started, or you're looking to take it to the next level, Margot Media.
Oh no, that was the company I sold.
That's gone. Okay.
Yeah, that's gone. So it's Rowbottom Marketing now.
Rowbottom Marketing.
Yes.
Awesome. So Rowbottom Marketing. We'll provide the link, of course, in the show notes. Shay, thanks a lot, lady.
Thank you so much.
We'll watch what you do out there. Have a good one.
You too.
Hey, thanks for joining us. And before you hit that next button on that phone, I want you to continue with me for just a little bit longer, because I've put something together especially for you. I want you to go over to Donnie Tuttle donnietuttle.com, and you are going to find that I have put together a course on selling anywhere. I have literally taken all of the mistakes out of this thing that I've learned over the course of 2.5 years, and I provide a template of how you can go out there and sell anywhere. Everything from the traveling and the moving to the setup to the teardown to the mindset, methods, and motivation to different formats of being able to present to people in a way that is compelling. I have done that for you, and I'm asking you to go to donnietuttle.com and download the first class session for free. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next episode.